So, okay, I'll start just kind of quickly. So hello, everybody. If you don't know me, my name is Boaz Nadav Manis. I'm the University Librarian in Lehigh University. I've been in Lehigh. It is in the Lehigh Valley, close to Philly. I've been here a little more than a year. I've been part of the Charleston Conference for 10 years, maybe more, trying to get to that wonderful place every year and hang out with you all. So I miss you, but I'm sure that I heard really good news about the attendees, the attendance level this year, and it's great. And thanks to Leah and everybody else working on this conference. It's always great. So, okay, I'm going to share my screen now, and let's hope it works out well. I hope you see it. Okay, so a little bit about Lehigh. This is what you would see on a regular day if you come to a library. This is this beautiful library. It's the Lindemann Library. And inside, you see a beautiful reading room. You'll see lots of people coming together. It's the heart of the university in a way. It's been around from 1875 onwards, so it has some history. That's a really fun place and where my office is. And then we have another library, the Virtual Martindale Library. It is different. And as you can see, it's a bit more modern. It has lots of kind of group activity, less books in general, even though I think there are still quite a few around. We have lots of group study areas and some fun kind of things we do there. So in between the Virtual Martindale Library and the Lindemann, there is a walk, and sometimes there is you know, good and let's say energetic conversation area to kind of have. So facts and figures about Lehigh and the library. We're in the Lehigh Valley. We're number 49 right now on the US News Best Colleges. Pretty good. We got 5 colleges. There is a new College of Population Health we're very happy about. Interesting for Lehigh, it is part of a merged organization. We are part of the Library and Technology Services. So it is, you know, we keep informed about things to do with security, with technology, with libraries, with lots of different infrastructure questions, definitely relevant to this time. So we have some collections. We are part of PALCI, the Pennsylvania Library Academic Consortium. We are a founding members of OLE, the Open Library Environment, one of the few remaining in that community. And we are now part of the OLF, the Open Library Foundation. We are members of CRL. So we were busy, like many others, in different things before we got here. So just to mention a few, we had Pete Souza, Obama's photographer, coming to talk with us about his experiences taking photos of the president. It was also a good reason to have a new exhibit area in the library. So we had his photos showing up for a few months. We've had the Umoja House. It's a multicultural house. We celebrated 30 years of its existence, and the photos of the alums are still decorating our library. The photo on the right side is a celebration of the Folio environment in WolfCon. So we get together with lots of other people, developers, product managers, vendors, once a year and celebrate our work together. So this is what we did in Texas A&M just before all of it changed. We merged a help desk. We had a separate help desk, one for the library and circulation into library loan, and another one for technology. So we put it together at the beginning of the year without knowing how relevant all of it will become. And here are all the people that are busy keeping us operational right now. We emphasize instruction outreach. You see here Jasmine Woodson and Carrie Sorrell working with students, teaching them how to use library resources. And we have a new student library advisory board that we started this year. And we do some collection management, and we keep the library safe and managed. And then everything changed, and we started thinking, well, why are we doing what we do in the library? So this is one of the campaigns the library had to allow students to think again, why is it that they need to keep each other safe? Why is it that they need to keep us safe? So that leads me to the more general question, why do we do what we do? And I think that that is the question that lots of us are asking right now. So, there is a lot that we can say about the infrastructure that was built in the past few months to support the students coming to the library. We are now open again. We're open between 8 and 9 every day. We just extended the hours on the weekends. So some of the services that I think are very popular and kind of work out quite nicely are very highly dependent on the staff that do them. So when we say infrastructure, the reliance on staff right now is extremely high. And so on the left corner or on your right, you see Ricky now doing a curbside pickup for, somebody stops the car and just wants some books. So we have that. We do that also for equipment that we're lending and interlibrary loan as well as circulation. In the middle is the Hawkwatch app that students and faculty and staff are using to gain access to the library. So it looks kind of harmless, but actually there are 4 different systems that it talks with as you fill out your information. And that is a bit of what I wanted to kind of talk about today, that even though the systems seemed as if they're ready, and it seemed as if we're ready for, emergencies, there is a lot still to be desired. So this system and its outcome on the right, where you see a new station that we just built to check again as students come in if they're allowed to be in the library. All of it relies on a turnaround between system to system. And, again, like if we want to be relevant and quick, we want those systems to be talking with each other very quickly right now, because somebody's waiting at the door and wants to gain access. This is just a lesson in a way on what type of systems we want to continue and develop as we're going forward, not related to door access, related to access in general, to library resources and to other things that we do. So we did some things that probably most of you know about, because we are all trying to sort of come up with ways by which we engage with our users. In particular, I want to mention the Overdrive Collection that was put together to address diversity and inclusion issues that we are trying to tackle heads on. So this is the Hispanic Heritage Month collection. We had before the Black Lives Matter collection. You can see here stories of Black excellence. So we want to make sure that people know what the African American experience is and coming from people that live it and know it better than everybody else. So this collection is actually supported by library endowments. And it is a priority for the library to figure out ways by which we continue and do things, value-added collections like this one. Everything I'm saying is a result of lots of people working on it, and I want to thank them all for doing those things. This is their interest and very active kind of things that they were able to achieve. The Washington Post, we just purchased access to that one to allow users to learn more about what's going on in the world right now. We had already a New York Times and Wall Street Journal subscription, and we've added the Washington Post just recently. LinkedIn Learning is a resource that we purchased just recently with others. So new partnerships are happening across campus, and the library and technology services and the library in particular are also helping in funding some of those resources. So LinkedIn Learning is relevant for instruction and also just for professional development needs that are needed more than ever. So we're thinking about our staff, thinking about our community at large, and not just, whoever is right now affiliated with Lehigh. HathiTrust, so we began using the Ethos, and to an extent it kind of helped, but we're not a huge library, so we used it somewhat, but we just stopped doing it because we opened the library again. And I also I'll just, Labster is a recent addition to our collection, us being requested to purchase a resource that will help our lab researchers to do their instruction. So our collection expenditures have changed quite a bit. And as a result of the pandemic. Let's see. What I think is really worth noting is the Jove collection that we purchased just recently. This one, as we're closing our doors to our community members and they are not allowed to come into the library, Lehigh is open to anyone, anytime, but not now. So we are thinking, what else can we do to help our communities to be well? And one of those reinvestments of collections support is to think about the high schools and schools in general and kids in the area. So the Jove collection right now is supporting two areas in Lehigh with lots of high schools, and basically we're paying and lots of kids are enjoying it. And we're going to see, it's a pilot, we're going to see how it works. But this is something that we're going to continue to explore and see if it is a good investment for us. We believe it is. So that is something we're trying out. We felt, I think the whole library, that we need to provide quick information to our users. Lots of people were at the beginning of this called us worried and didn't know what to do, where to go. And as information experts, we felt that it's important to provide information. So we had this library guide created. We had also situations where we couldn't answer. We're not experts on public health. But that came up very quickly, that we want to make sure that people know what resources are available to them, where to go, and also who to talk with if they have issues. Yeah, so we changed also the way we do outreach and instruction. And instead of kind of showing up in class and talk with our students in person. There is a new set of videos that are produced quite deliberately to engage with our students. Our students are saying that they are feeling isolated, and we're trying to figure out what can we do to really help them at this point. So this is Jasmine Woodson. Thank you, Jasmine, for allowing me to share this photo. As the instruction outreach team tries to kind of figure out those new ways to engage with our students, videos like this help because students feel that they have a familiar face and an actual person behind, chat services and other things that we do. So that's kind of us trying to be humans in all of this. Other COVID adjustments that maybe are worth noting today. We began to collect experiences. This is an initiative by the Special Collections Library of our alums, staff, faculty, students, of their own experiences. What are they facing right now? So they can share with us audio, videos, notebooks, anything that relates to COVID and what people are facing, and we're preserving it in our open repository. So this is, as we call it, collecting COVID-19. And the idea is to rethink what are special collections right now, and in what way our kind of mission to preserve the history of the institution becomes very important right now, because we're keen on knowing what people really are facing. We had an exhibition called Worth Keeping. It was a traditional exhibition, so it was, lots of great resources put together by the Special Collections Libraries and others in the middle of the library. And then it became a virtual exhibit. We had sessions about that. And the question about worth keeping is so relevant right now. Hard to know what is worth keeping. I'll get back to that. Another initiative is the Lehigh faculty publication. So annually we had an event where faculty came to the library and talk about the recent publications. And this time it's a virtual event. And we're collecting videos and authors talk about what they write about. And they can share with each other their experiences, and we hope that next year we're going to have a panel discussion that will be resulting from those videos. And the last one I mentioned before I get to infrastructure is the Biblioteca Philadelphiensis project. It's called Bibliophily, and it's us collaborating with many others on sharing resources, Renaissance history, medieval resources with anyone. I moved to the next slide already. So on August 17th, we went live with Folio. This is kind of our party. What we did together after years and years of investment all across the library system. You can see here people from access services, from special collections, from tech services, technology people, instruction outreach, everybody almost in the Lehigh Library has been involved in making this system work. We're one of the first ones to go live. In this particular case, I want to mention first that it works. So if you are interested, we'll be happy to talk more about it. We are very happy that this works that well. Also, the partnership with EBSCO and IndexData is important at this time to mention. In order to do some things, we need to partner. Not always easy, but always exciting and interesting. And I think we need those kind of partnerships to grow and become more fundamental to the way we do things. So I'm going to move forward. Chat staff, we began to do chat 24/7, and because we wanted to support international students that are working in different countries, in different time zones. We are part of ReShare. We're thinking that right now it's very important to figure out ways by which we lend not only books, but also digital artifacts. There is a lot of talk about CDL. So I'll talk a little bit more about it later, but this is a reason why we are working. We have a few developers that actually help it to become real. Together with lots of other libraries, and it's exciting. I think it's going to do really well. We began working on Simply E together with Columbia and NYPL. The purpose is to have a way to share our ebooks and digital artifacts in an open source system. For many good reasons. We don't want to have 20 different types of platforms that we all need to teach. And also because we believe in open source. This is kind of the Lehigh way. And we are also on the move from bpress to Islandora and other things that we are thinking of. So that's great. Antitrust, we are members of Antitrust. I think that there is going to be a lot of interesting things happening there. So this is just a new collection demands, and thanks everybody for helping putting this together. If you're around, Erin, Dan, and Phil. So we are here on the 30% increase on ebook firm orders from March onwards. JSTOR DDA is very popular. The streaming video interest is also increasing 15% on the Lehigh side. And the Overdrive collection that I just mentioned is expensive, but we believe in it. So that's a way to kind of figure out, yes, we need more money. If we're continuing to work in such an environment, we need to figure out how to go about it. I mentioned here on the side also some ways that I think we may be able to do some things. So we think about Gold Rush and collection analysis at scale. We think about East and how to manage the print collection together with others in a more cost-effective fashion. And we are looking at Unsub to check and see if our package is really worth our effort and money. So collection analysis and also some at-scale solutions can help us to actually do those things that we need to do: more ebooks, more streaming, more customized collections. I think while we're busy doing those things, we want to do much more advocacy. This is the time. So that is our latest goal for creating a more sustainable scholarly communication ecosystem. What I'd like to mention is that we are deemed to continue to develop infrastructure to support open access behaviors and facilitation of open processes for knowledge production. So aside to the maybe regular open access things that we really want to have a policy for, we believe that reinvesting in open infrastructure is also an interest and a need right now. Controlled Digital Lending Implementors is a community that is getting together to talk about those issues around CDL. You can join it, and please do. We talk freely about legal and infrastructure things we can all do together to make that work. So I guess I got only 5 minutes to talk about those things. Maybe we really, so I'll do we need to increase the diversity of the collections. So this is obvious. We wanted to do that before. I think now is the right time to think how to actually do that in practice. to increase the accountability by exposing life cycle processes. So this pandemic has shown us that we are tight and we are dependent on each other to do work, and we need to be transparent about it. So thinking how to do that more better is going to be a good thing. Treat a consortia, I'm skipping here, treating the consortia individual collections one big collection. We always wanted to have this one big collection that we all care for. If we're not doing it now, it's going to be hard to manage all the changes and all the reinvestment things that I talked about before. And now I'm going to jump to my main, I guess, slide. This is what I'd love us to do. And I think also that we need our vendors to think of. So how more can we encourage vendors and ourselves to do to figure out community-driven solutions? How do we think about the groups we're in? I think our platforms are very much about individuals working and not about the groups, and thinking about how do we go to Charleston because we like the network, and we're very good in that. And I think that we need to think about group first in our ecosystems and infrastructure. Mission driven, anything we do has to be in line with the university and the library. Quite often libraries kind of do their thing on, like sometimes on our own. Let's look at the university mission and figure out how we are relevant there. Open source and interoperable, if we want to make it really work system to system, quick turnaround, all of it needs to work out with standards and in an open source environment that we can really create new innovative business partnerships. Without it, we're stuck with what we're given, and that's probably not good enough. And also secured, so ensure financial and user data privacy. That's at the heart of what we do. So here is like a kind of a picture of new demands, and on the you can see the regular collections, engagement needs, collecting COVID-19, virtual reality, Jove, like reaching out to high schools, to the community. And then on the right hand is what we are developing. So new open source systems, and new ways to look at the space, ways by which we reach out to our users. In the middle is us. And this is the group and the way that we are interacting with each other. And I think that the data around that, so some of those data sources like CC+, Gold Rush, Unsub, HathiTrust can be one, will help this network and this group. That in group can be lots of us together to actually make good decisions about what is worth keeping. So I think that if we build systems that will support the group activity in the network, then we may be able to manage some of this energy in the coming year. So I'm busy working on those things. So are many others. I think that this year is going to be extraordinary. 2021 with some work being done. I hope that in the coming year, there's going to be more to report about. And that's all I had. So I took too much time, and I hope, I don't know if you have any questions and time for that, but thank you, everybody. So what do you want? Hello, great job, boss. Thank you. Did moving to Folio decrease or increase budget demands? I'd say it's unknown. We began using it just a few months ago, right, August? I think that it will probably increase some and decrease other demands. If we are going to stretch it to where it goes, So it's an open source platform, right? It can do lots of things. It doesn't necessarily need to do just collections. So with the new College of Health, with other things we're working on, like we can imagine that new data sets, new other things librarians need to do are going to be part of this workflow. So kind of how to imagine right now. Right now, Folio is built to do regular library management system stuff. And but what is most exciting about it is that it is built by the community. Which you don't get in other situations, right? So as such, we're going to have new use cases coming up, and I think that you all can see actually if it works for you. What modules did you implement with Folio? We went fully live, so we are working now on the ERM. We are, so I think, you may know, Natalie, that some have gone first with the ERM module. We just went all in, and everything works. So that's good. We're converting our e-resources licenses and workflows and data right now into Folio. So, but you can talk with Cornell, I think, about the ERM experience. Moving to Folio also change your typical workflow. I don't think so. I actually think that the typical workflow, so we moved from OLE to Folio. It's a little bit different. OLE was pretty good in certain ways. Right, so here's a question, Lola, managing your funds with Folio. So yes, we do. And we're working on it. The fund management is different between OLE and Folio, and we're actually busy now trying to enrich the acquisitions side more. I mean, we, meaning the community, meaning Lehigh helps, but the whole community is obviously also very keen on making it work well. What else are you interested in? All right. Okay, well, thanks everybody, and have a great weekend, and hope to see you again soon.